Bring Back My Bar 2024 is here, and so are, drumroll please, some more reviews. You asked, I heard, we are doing a new type of video today. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. My name is Amber Fowler. I am a Scentsy independent consultant, and I talk about all things fragrant and lovely. This is my first warm review video. I am so stoked to give this to you guys. Normally, my warm review videos are just kind of like random bars that I've been warming. Well, this time I have targeted just the Bring Back My Bar fragrances that are currently available so that you can know what they are like warming, because as we all know, sometimes scents can kind of change, or their properties are just a little bit different than what we expect from when we smell them cold. So now you're going to learn a little bit more about these fragrances. In this video, I'm going to rank each bar by how much I enjoyed the fragrance, like how much I just like the scent, by how strong it is, meaning like how powerful of a projection it puts out while it's warming, and the longevity of the fragrance. How long did I get to use it? As how many hours, how many days, etc. Each of these ratings will be from 1 to 10, 1 being my least favorite or lowest performing in that category, and 10 being my most favorite or the strongest performing in that category. Let's get into it. Now, I only have 9 of these bars to share with you today. I did kind of pick 9 randomly, some that I thought I would really like, some that I thought I might not like, and a few in between. I don't really have a particular order that we're going to get started in. We're just going to jump right into the first one that I put in my Scentsy warmer, and that is Frosted Ginger Cookie. So if you don't know me yet, I am a bakery gourmand, fruity scented kind of lover. I really enjoy those scents. They are my absolute favorites. And so when I saw that Frosted Sugar Cookie was in this set for Bring Back My Bar, I had to give it a try. And in my Bring Back My Bar review video, this is my cold review. I'll link it up here for you if you haven't seen it yet. But I said that this bar was going to be probably heavier on the ginger, and in warming, definitely came true. I did use 2 cubes in my living room warmer. That's a pretty large space to fill a scent. And let me just say, this scent was strong. For gourmand bakery scents, I feel like they're just not typically very strong fragrances. Like, they don't typically last very long. They're not very powerful, and they usually lose their scent after a while. This one is the polar opposite to all of that. So if you're not into gourmand scents, I would probably steer clear of this one. The ginger cookie that's in here, it does stand out, especially the first couple days, but then afterwards, it just kind of melted into this ginger scent. I think I had this bar in the warmer for 3 days, which is a day longer than I would normally keep a bar in there. But that's how strong and long lasting this scent was. Okay, so for my ratings for Frosted Ginger Cookie, under the category of enjoyment, how much I just liked the scent of it, I gave this an 8 out of 10. Again, it's got that cookie note, so I really love that. It was very heavy on ginger, and I'm not typically one to really go for ginger scents, so I'm actually quite surprised by how much I did like this. But I think that cookie note, like the sugar in here, really helped the ginger out, so I ultimately ended up really liking this scent a lot more than I even thought that I would, given that it is so heavy on the ginger. For strength, I gave this one a 10 out of 10. This one is a powerhouse of a ginger fragrance. Like, your whole home will be smelling like ginger by the time you're done with this. And for longevity, I gave this a 10 out of 10 as well. As I stated before, it lasted a whole extra day longer than I would normally keep a fragrance in my Scentsy warmer. Would I buy this again? Yes, absolutely. Moving on to the second fragrance that I tried out, I chose Awakening. So this one is very different from Frosted Ginger Cookie. This one, it leans a little bit on the fresh side. I think originally I thought this was going to be a little bit fruity, a little bit aromatherapy, spa-like, and it definitely has those vibes, don't get me wrong, but it leans more fresh than fruity, if that makes sense. So while I get like a serene vibe when I warmed this, it also came with it like a kick of like fresh florals almost. Not so much florals, but definitely like clean. And that kind of threw me off a little bit. I wasn't really expecting that. I think because I used 2 cubes in my living room, I think it wasn't as good as I was anticipating it to be, but I almost feel like if I were to place one of these cubes in the bedroom, that it would perform way, way better in that space, because I typically go for those types of fresher, more floral, romantic kind of scents for the bedroom versus the living room. So I'm going to give this one another try. But my first impression of it, did I enjoy this scent? Let's go ahead and rate it. I gave this one a 4 out of 10 because, like I said, it just didn't meet the expectations that I had for it originally. And I do think it will do better in the bedroom. For strength, I do have to break this into a day 1 and day 2 because day 1, this one was going pretty good. I didn't get nose blind to it at all. So I rank it a 7 out of 10 for day 1. Now for day 2, it was much lighter. And ultimately, because it was a little bit lighter, it was a little bit more pleasant because these are not the types of fragrances that I typically love in the living room. Rate it like a 4 out of 10 on day 2. Definitely still there, but not quite as strong. For longevity, I give it a 7 out of 10. It lasted kind of the amount that Scentsy typically lasts. It's a bit stronger on day 1, a little less strong on day 2, and then I usually switch it out. So that's pretty standard. 7 out of 10 is going to be kind of like the standard for longevity. Would I buy more bars of this is the next question. The answer is yes. I think I would. I might even throw this in my Scentsy club just to get one more bar of this. Like I said, I have high hopes for it to blend better in the bedroom setting than in the living room setting. And I think overall, it will be much more enjoyable in that area. So we are coming in number 3 out of 9 here with Everything Nice. And let me just say, this is becoming one of my hands down top favorite scents from Scentsy of all time. I used 2 cubes in the living room and they did not disappoint. I didn't think that they would, but they definitely didn't. This was so mouth-watering, delicious, yummy, just ooey gooey delicious. Oh, I can't even describe to you like how amazing this fragrance is. It smells sweet and savory. It smells like you're doing a whole bunch of home cooking all at once, and it blended with the things that I was actually cooking in the kitchen, which is so crazy. So that's why I love this scent. It went so well in that space because it just made everything smell so yummy. It made what I was cooking smell like it was better than what it was, if that makes any sense. This bar is amazing for gourmand lovers, and I highly, highly recommend it to you guys. If you are out there and you've never laid your nose on Everything Nice, you need to while it is still available. I remember that one of the main notes in here is butter, and it is just, it is chef's kiss delicious in this bar. Let's rate it. So did I enjoy it? Yes, absolutely. This is 10 out of 10. Like I said, top tier favorites from Scentsy. Like so good. 10 out of 10. Strength. I will say this one did kind of project out, and I really liked that. 9 out of 10 for strength from me. And that's for day 1. Now day 2, I don't know if we just got a little bit nose blind or what, but it was much fainter on day 2. I think I would rank it a 1 out of 10 on day 2. It did not last very long, unfortunately, but the scent itself is just so good. Longevity, I would give this a 6 out of 10 because, like I said, it was so good and powerful on day 1. And then it just kind of dropped off on day 2. It was very faint for like the first half of day 2, and then it just melted into nothing. But would I buy this again? 100% yes. Just the fragrance alone, because I just absolutely enjoyed it. And for day 1 at least, like it is so strong and it is so good, like strong in a good way. I would 100% buy this again. And this one 100% is going in my Scentsy club. Definitely my absolute favorite from the January Bring Back My Bar set so far. Next up, I've got Bananas, Bananas. In my last video, I I told you guys that I am not big on artificial banana scents. And when I smelled this on cold, it did have a little bit of that artificial banana smell, but it also had some tropical notes and some coconut in there as well. So I thought, you know what, maybe we'll just try warming it and just see if we like it any different. I've chose to do 1 cube in the bedroom. This fragrance is not very strong. Because of that, I think it was a lot more enjoyable for me because I didn't think that I was going to like the scent anyway. It was bearable. I definitely get a little bit more of that like pina colada tropical vibes on warm than I did on cold. So if that helps you guys make a better decision with this one, I hope it does. I will say the first day was more of that tropical pina colada scent. The day 2 is when I was really starting to get that artificial banana scent. But again, both days were a bit faint, so it wasn't super strong or in my face. And I can't tell if I just don't like this scent or if it's just too out of season. I mean, there's snow on the ground outside this window in front of me right now. And this is very much like beach days kind of a bar. I'll have to give this one another chance come the summertime, but for now, I think I'm just gonna say it's not one of my favorites. Did I enjoy the scent of this bar? I give it a 2 out of 10. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever smelled in my life. Did it wow me? No. It just was kind of typical. And then it also had that artificial banana scent to it, which I already know I don't like. For strength, I gave it a 5 out of 10 for both days because while the scent was a little bit different on each day, it was still pretty light, but it didn't really fade out or die out or anything like that. For longevity, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. It was pretty standard. It lasted the 2 days. It probably could have lasted maybe a little bit on day 3 for a few more hours, but because the strength of it was so light, 7 out of 10, pretty normal, lasted us 2 full days, and that's about it. Will I be buying more of bananas? Absolutely not. 1 is plenty for me right now. This next bar I had a lot of high hopes for, and this was Strawberry Sweetie. So this one smells like strawberry candy. It is so sugary and so delicious and so fruity. I really loved this one on cold. It smells like a strawberry lollipop. It's so, so good. I will say for warming, because it wasn't a very strong scent, I think that's what made me not enjoy this quite as much as I wanted to. But I also want to give this one the benefit of the doubt because when I was warming this one, I may have cooked something that kind of took over the house. No. Oh no, I know what it was. I know what it was. I had a different fragrance going on in the bedroom that like completely wiped everything else out. Like it was a fragrance bomb and it took over my entire apartment. I'll get to that one next. But I want to give this one another chance because I feel like this one just got completely drowned out by the fragrance that I had going on in the bedroom. So I don't know how accurate these ratings are going to be. As for whether or not I enjoyed the fragrance, I gave this one a 6 out of 10 because, like I said, it's just that sugary, sweet, strawberry, fruity fragrance, and I really, really like those types of fragrances. Ranking it 6 out of 10 just because I didn't really get a lot of it from warming it, but again, just that weird circumstance of having a very, very strong scent in the other room, I think didn't help. For strength, I want to give this a 1 out of 10. Like I said, it just didn't put out much of anything. And I don't know if that's because of this scent or if that's because it got overpowered. Last but not least, longevity. Again, 1 out of 10. I just didn't smell it like the entire time this was warming, but it was also warming with this other fragrance for the entire time that I had this out in the living room. So take those ratings with a grain of salt. I will need to rewarm this one and give it another opinion. Would I buy more of this bar? Yes, because on cold it smells freaking amazing and I have hopes that this will perform better without the competition. Next up, we've got Twilight. So I chose to do 1 cube in the bedroom. Holy cow. Is all I gotta say. This is the bomb that I was talking about when I was reviewing Strawberry Sweetie. So I had both of these going on. This is the strongest, most longest lasting Scentsy fragrance I have ever had in my life. Ever. It is so intensely strong. I actually got sick the first day that this was warming. Like, it literally made me feel nauseous to the point where I had to turn it off because it was just too overpowering and too much. Now, Twilight, if you don't already know this, is a fragrance that leans into the florals. So I think if I remember correctly, the description for this one is romantic florals and ocean air or something like that. It's a very mysteriously romantic kind of a scent. You definitely get some like rosy kind of vibes from this, which I thought, if done subtly, was going to smell so, so nice in our bedroom space. And let me just tell you, on about day 4, because it lasted that long, it finally hit that level of faintness that I actually quite liked out of this. But day 1 and 2 and halfway through 3, it was so strong. I like had a hard time. It still just overpowered the entire apartment. Like I said, I had Strawberry Sweetie in the living room. I also keep a Febreze plug-in in one of the bathrooms, kind of in the hallways space. So if you want to like picture this, there's our bedroom, and then across from our bedroom is the bathroom with the Febreze. And then down the hall, kind of centrally at the end of that hall, is where I have my living room warmer. So kind of like the 3 going on at all times. Well, this one not only knocked out the Strawberry Sweetie scent in the living room, but it also overpowered completely the Febreze plug-in that we had in the bathroom as well, which I actually smell again now that this one is no longer warming. But for those like 4 or 5 days we had this one going, I didn't even smell it was like a spruce kind of a scent in the bathroom either. So that's why I want to give Strawberry Sweetie the benefit of the doubt here. Let me just say, if you are a fan of florals and you want your bars, like you want to get the most bang for your buck for your bars, you need to stock up on Twilight, because like I said, I've never, ever had anything this strong last this long before in my life. Unfortunately, I know I would have enjoyed this a lot more had it been more subtle, but because it was not, I ranked this as a 2 out of 10 on whether or not I enjoyed it. Like when I smell this on cold, I like it. I actually quite like it. But because it was so strong and it made me so nauseated that first day, I have to give it a 2 out of 10. I don't want to give it a 1 out of 10 because I do really want to like this and I do actually like the fragrance, just not for that long and not for that strong. For strength, I give this an 11 out of 10. I really didn't want to try to push past like the whole 10 out of 10 thing. You know, I wanted to try to keep it within the actual range here, but whoo mamas, because this one completely dominated our entire living space, just from being 1 cube in our little bedroom that's like sectioned off. I had to give this an 11 out of 10. I've never had any bar that strong before and it just blew me away. For longevity, of course, I gave this a 10 out of 10. Honestly, this probably I could say 11 out of 10, but we're just gonna keep it 10 out of 10. It lasted 3 full days. For that, I mean 3 12-hour on days, okay? And then we had it going through some evenings. So like day 4 and 5, it was just running through the evening hours, like 3 hours on day 4, 3 hours on day 5. Still lasting. This was still smelling when I took it out of the warmer, but I was just so done with this fragrance by then. The concept for this one is so cool. I love the mysterious, I love the romantic, and I really wanted to love this fragrance. But because of the strength, the longevity, it was just too much for me. Would I buy this again? Unfortunately, no. On to number 7 out of 9, we've got Vanilla Walnut. Now this one, I used 1 cube in our living room space. So I've got 2 warmers in my living room space, one that takes 2 cubes, one that takes 1 cube. And so I decided to go ahead and put this in the 1 cube warmer. Why? I don't know, just to switch things up, just to see what it was like. Now, this one is super sweet and super creamy, yummy. You definitely get like the vanilla, you get the walnut. It almost has like an amaretto vibe to it as well, if that helps to paint a picture. Kind of smells like vanilla extract mixed with walnut extract, and it definitely held true to that warming as well. Now this one was very strong and sweet for about 4 hours the first day. Then it kind of started fading into the background. We started getting nose blind to it. Day 2, I don't really think it was very existent. We kind of had it running through a few evenings and it was there. Like you can kind of pick up on like a sweetness in the air, but you couldn't really pick out like, oh yeah, that's the vanilla walnut scent in the Scentsy warmer. So it's a toss up for me. As far as whether or not I enjoyed the fragrance, I give this one an 8 out of 10. I really just love sweet, sugary scents, and this one definitely delivers on that. For strength though, unfortunately, because it didn't really last very long, it came out pretty strong for, like I said, the first few hours, but then it died out. I give this a 4 out of 10. For longevity, I'm gonna say the same, 4 out of 10. It lasted like one full 12-hour day and then a couple of evenings, but by the time that we were done with it, it lasted less time hourly than what I would normally keep the wax in there for. Would I purchase this one again? Sadly, yes, because I do really like the scent. On to number 8 out of 9, I've got Blood Orange Spice, and I actually have this one warming right now. I chose to use 2 cubes in our living room space. And already I am really loving this bar. It smells so fruity and cozy at the same time. It's a very wintry, citrus fruity scent, and I really am here for it. My husband, on the other hand, does not like this scent at all, so I'm gonna have to figure that one out because I do absolutely adore this one. So this one gives me vibes of that blood orange, maybe something a little fruity, like a red type of fruit. If I remember correctly, there was cinnamon and clove in this. I would not say that those are very strong, predominant scents. Like they don't like jump out at you, not on cold and not warming as well. It just gives the whole fruity feel, something like a little bit more of a cozy feeling, almost like a cider in a way. Do I enjoy this scent? I am giving this one actually a 9 out of 10 just because it is so unique and so different from every other scent that I have in my collection right now, and that says a lot because I have a lot in my collection. I like that it's different, and this one was pleasantly surprising. Like I knew I would like it, but I didn't think that I would enjoy it this much. So 9 out of 10. For strength, I give it about a 6 out of 10. Being in the same room, warming this all day yesterday, I did get nose blind to it, but if you exit the room and then you come back into the room, you do actually smell it. So maybe a 6, maybe a 7 out of 10. It doesn't like stay with you when you're in the room, but if you leave and come back, like you do get that like fresh burst of it. And then longevity, it is hard to say at the moment because I am currently on day 2 and it's still going. So I don't know how much longer it's going to give me. Honestly, I really, if I had to make a guess on it, I would say it's probably going to last through today and I will probably end up changing it tomorrow. So I'm thinking maybe 7 to an 8 out of 10. Last but not least, I have the Lonicera bar, and I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I hope I am. I'm not even sure what that means. If you do know that, please comment below what this means. But this fragrance was kind of a whim choice. I chose to do 1 cube for the bedroom. It's warming right now, actually. So far, I'm really loving this one as well. It is a fresh floral scent that just has a little hint of sweetness to it. It works so well in the bedroom space. It just really does. Like these are the types of scents that I like for that space. So it's given me what I want, and it's not too strong or too overpowering. In fact, it's quite faint and quite light, and I quite like that about it. I'm on day 2 with this one as well, so I'll have to see how it pushes past day 2, but for now, I'll just tell you what I think about it. My rating for enjoyment of this bar is I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 just because I really love it for the environment that it's in. With Awakening, I feel like if I had tried that one in the bedroom, that one would have been ranked a lot higher in enjoyment because it would have worked better for that space than it does in the living room. Just like this one, I would rank probably lower if I put this one in the living room because this is not the scent that I want out there, but it is the scent that I want in my bedroom. Strength-wise, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 because it is not overpowering. We do kind of have to be near it to get a whiff of it, but I kind of like that because I don't want anything to be too strong or too overpowering in the bedroom. And like I said, for longevity, It's still going. We're on day 2. We may try to get a few hours into day 3 tomorrow, but if I had to guess, I'm gonna rank it about a 7 or an 8 out of 10 for this one as well, just because 7 is kind of like what I would call like the normal for Scentsy that lasts 2 days and then it's good to change. But with this one, it might last a little bit into day 3 as well. So I would give it either a 7 or an 8 out of 10 at this point. Well, that was a lot of really specific details to go into for what I've been warming Bring Back My Bar January 2024 edition. I hope you got some really good clarity and some good insight on these different bars. So it's not just about the fragrance itself in this video, you're also getting insight into the strength and the longevity of each of these scents as well, so that you can make better choices when you go to build your bundles. I will go ahead and leave a link in the description to my Scentsy webpage in case you guys are interested in purchasing some of these bars. Maybe you don't have a consultant to go through. It is a consultant link and I would make a commission off of any purchases there. So it is another way that you can choose to support my channel if you want to. Well, team, it has been an absolute pleasure warming all of these fragrances for you. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. It was super fun to make. What's even cooler is the fact that you reached out to me and you wanted to see a video like this. So I hope that I delivered that. Please let me know how I can improve in the future in the comments. Give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna sprinkle some videos down here so you can keep watching. I will catch you there. Bye.